Yo, what's up, guys? Damnation-n-Hellfire here. We're with another episode of Battle Pirates Craziness No Quarter. We've called this one Escape Your Skin, since Escape Velocity has all the skin prizes. What a great play on words. I'm so clever. Anyway, so with us tonight, we got Cuttlefish.
Hello, everyone.
We got Ross Crow.
Good evening, all.
We got Stormcatcher.
Hello.
And we got Simba Dakota.
Hello.
And Ren is attempting to join us, but he's having technical difficulties, so I'm not sure if he'll be back or not, but he might show up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. What do you guys want to talk about first? You want to talk about VXP targets?
Yeah, let's get into the VXP targets first.
Okay, go ahead, go. Get into them.
All right, well, this was a pretty good VXP for me. There was a nice, easy way to get to do this VXP target for free, as long as your ship had at least one real gun. A thud one will no longer work. And I was able to rank not only my Punishers, but I had two Warhounds that needed to rank, and the same exact trick worked, so it was great.
Well, are you going to share the trick? Or are you just going to be mysterious about the trick?
Sorry, I take my dragons at the top corner of the target, the upper right corner of the target. There are...
By dragons, you mean dragoons?
Dragoons, thank you. There are 3 turrets up there, up at the top corner. I swoop in with my dragoons, I destroy those 3 turrets, and leave. I take about 30 minutes of damage at most. Some people have gotten it as low as 20 minutes of damage. You could also use a pinch if you want to cut this damage down even more. Once that's done, my dragoons go and exit the map. Then I bring in my Punishers. They crawl across the top right and then hook around behind that. There's a clump of buildings there. They'll kill the buildings, and that's worth about 60,000 VXP right there on a triple salty.
Let me ask you a question here before you go too much. Is it worth killing 2 buildings, going out, coming back in, killing 2 buildings, going out, coming back in?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hello, Ren.
Hi, can you hear me better now?
No.
You're still staticky, but we'll deal with it.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
So,
on one of the tests a buddy of mine did, he came in, killed 4 buildings, and left. Then came back in, killed the last 4, and left. He got 85,000 VXP out of it. If you just kill them all in a pile, you get about 60,000.
Gotcha.
But clearing things with the Dragoons was really easy, so if I was just lazy, I would come in, sweep those turrets and park my guys there, and just run off and clear another one.
Oh, apparently they decided to vacuum upstairs while I was doing the show. How nice of them. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's about all I got on the VXP targets.
Ross, what do you
It was
think
good.
of VXP?
Yeah, I was okay. Well, pleasantly okay with them. I mean, it took me, I think, three killings to rank them. I did see the little note where you kill the turrets, and I did instead. I went over and just aimed for the buildings. I only do have 1 weapon on each one, so it did. I died. So I mean, I just didn't mess around with it, but I did not coin it. I took me 3 hits to get it done. I don't have a 4th ship though. I just have 3 ships. So my 3 ships are sculled currently. My 4th ship is being built now. So it went okay for me.
And your banjo are going to have some COC with VXP tokens, and that's going to be your 4th ship.
Ouch.
Yeah. I couldn't understand that one.
No.
Any better now?
No.
wonder what he did with his mic. It was fine last night.
Yeah, it was fine on Discord.
It's absolutely the same setup. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, like setting just because it works on one application doesn't necessarily mean that the same settings work on another application. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and I'm totally gonna blame you. Right? No.
Yeah, it's all Simba's fault.
My fault,
Yeah,
really?
that works.
Shark said to blame you, so that's
All
what we're
right.
doing.
Yeah. No, but for the ranking, it's going. I mean, it went pretty good. I just didn't have a lot to rank. I don't think people have a ton to rank like they used to. You know.
Well, the first time that I went in, I was looked the target over, trying to figure out what to do. I tried the top corner, only had 2 built, and well, needless to say, it didn't go too good. And then I learned how everybody else was doing it. So it took me, I think, 3 hits for me to finally get my 2 ranked up. Kind of glad it'll work for the Conquer fleets because I've got 3 subjugators, 1 warhound, and I can't remember. Oh, 1 basilisk that I'm gonna run in this evening or later on to get them upgraded. But the repair time, I really did not like the 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours to repair 2. So I hope the raid isn't going to be that much disaster where uh, trying to get your fleet repaired if you get totally destroyed. Because half repair, you know, wouldn't hack it. Especially if you've got four hulls.
Well, hopefully by the time the raid comes around, we'll have, I'll have these things called specials and maybe some armor on my hull, which I don't at the moment. So,
Well, I've already said that I'm not going to have. I'll have to probably hit the A sets. I'm not going to have any. I'm not going to have anything. And that's fine.
the A set should be riots this time around, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. I mean, in this event, there's a way to upgrade your riots and get riot tokens. So you can boost up if that fleet isn't perfect. You can spend a little time on it just before the raid
Yeah,
as a backup plan.
of course.
You want to try
The
things?
riot tokens, riot upgrade tokens I got last raid and the 5 I got on this event now. I was able to get another ship to X1 instantly. That was good.
Yeah, keep messing with those settings, buddy. Because yeah, that was right about the same. I mean, if you can't get it to work, and you want to bounce, that's fine. Or if you want to keep messing with the settings, but if everywhere it doesn't matter.
The one thing I'm going to be worried about with the upcoming raids and everything, uh, seem like having them up to U3 and then X1 works a lot better than just regular fleets. And Kickside can say that no, the target's attuned for what we got, without the upgrades and everything. But it just seemed like that everybody else, we know better than that. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it away from BXP. Next.
All right, sorry, I was a little distracted there for a minute trying to talk to Ren. Yeah, my VXP went fairly easy. You know, I went in, I suicided my Punishers the first time. About, I don't know, 10 minutes after I suicided them, then Cuddle told me about the other thing. So I went and did the other thing for the rest of it. Yeah, they're all legendary now, and I got a couple conquerors I'm working on, like my third Warhound. I'm working on getting him to legendary, and I have another howler that I just built that I'm working on getting to legendary. So that's what I'm VXP. That was fairly quick and painless. So do we want to talk about what we've discovered as far as how we want to go with our ship builds based on what we've seen in the targets? Cuddle, I'm sure this is something you probably want to talk about. So since they're still vacuuming upstairs, I'm going to put myself on mute. You can go with that for a while.
Sure. I'm still going to go with the multi-shot way, the multi-shot build, which is basically I'll be using the Roaring Barrel system to maximize my multi-shot. I know there's been some debate and some discoveries during this VXP target about evade and how well evade can work on these targets, as all the weapons, at least the initial bunch, seem to be all accuracy based, and evade would work against them. The problem is, for me to be able to fit evade onto my build, it would just slash my damage, and I don't think I'm willing to do that. As a halfway point, though, because time is short and I don't know whether I'm going to be able to fully build out my ships, I'm planning to armor my ships with D2 Echo armor, or D2E armor. The cheapo old evade armor. 6 plates on it, with no other evade specials on my hull. I get my ships up to a 61% evade. Takes 12 hours to put on all 6 plates. That I might be able to do if I run out of. That's my backup plan if I run out of time before the raid.
Well, here's the fun thing I've noticed on all the different builds, you know, because we looked at the multi-shot build, we looked at the supercharged build, and we looked at the evade build. And really the only difference between them was one special. It was either, help me out here, Cuddle. Roaring Barrel system.
Autoloader 4.
No, Autoloader 4 wasn't in any of the ones we looked at. Interception system. Roaring Barrel 3, or either Agility 4 or Guidance Scrambler 3. Those were like, those specials were the only differences that could be swapped out to do either one of the 3 builds. Yeah, I mean, we briefly looked at the Autoloader 4 thing for the reload version, and we all came to the conclusion that the reload version was not good.
Not enough damage throughput.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, after all the talking we did and everything last night, I probably will end up going with the evade version. This is kind of not on the same topic, but it sort of is kind of not. Fun fact, if anybody who didn't know, if you absolutely hate the mines and these siege targets, you can take your suppressor in and trigger all the mines and get rid of them.
For those who have them.
That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today, and I'm like, well, they seem to blow up all mines and not take any damage anyway. I wonder if it'll work in here. And I took my suppressor in there, ran it around. I was like, yep, I blew up all the mines and didn't have to worry about anything. You have to be careful, though, if you do want to get the bust from the torpedo towers, because they will also kill the torpedo towers as you're sailing through there. So it might take some very careful driving if you're trying to keep the torpedo towers alive.
But that's not going to work in the raid, because the raid will be locked to siege hulls, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, it's something to try.
I don't see how Guidance Scrambler would work, because wouldn't Guidance Scrambler be for penetration?
No, Guidance Scrambler is evade, just like Agility is. The only difference between Guidance Scrambler and Agility System 4 is Agility 4 gives you like the slowdown, the anti-slowdown effects. But they are both evade.
Okay. I did not know.
And Ren in chat is saying he thinks people using the F launcher, which is the unlimited one, should probably be buffing Supercharge, while the people using the limited one should probably be buffing multi-shot and projectile damage. Which I would probably tend to agree with.
That makes sense. The regular one's damage compared to the limited ones is what, about half per flechette. I believe it's like 28,000 on the regular one and 40 something on the limited one.
Yeah, which honestly, if Shockwaves is all you're worried about buffing, you could probably even use old like tier 8 launchers. Because like, this is the Shockwave on the tier 8, the same as the Shockwave on the tier 9.
Don't know.
Yes, no, maybe so.
I don't know, actually.
Neither.
There you go, 2,500 versus 4,800. Yeah, I'm going to stack all the limited ones. I'm not going to touch the regular ones, and I'll be stacking multi-shot. Looking forward to seeing how it works.
Cool. Anybody doing escape velocity?
On and off when I have my dock is free where I can throw something in. I mean, I've got tons of repairs I'm trying to get done, so I'm trying to get it all done and doing very little as possible in order to get stuff repaired.
I've claimed 22 chests out of the escape velocity. Yeah, I like it. This is a nice, easy event. You can do the actual. You can do the 101 for very, very cheap. I did not touch the 900 because, wow, someone else can talk about that. But from everyone I talked to, everyone got a Punisher skin in the first 5 chests that I talked to. So even if you're not, particularly interested in doing this event, if you even just the first couple escape chests, you will get one of the Punisher skins. And these Punisher skins and the Riot skins you get in there not only cover your regular ship, but also cover your flagship, which is a fantastic thing that they found an actual solution to that. So yeah, just get a couple of them.
I'm kind
I've done, I don't know, I've probably opened like 7 chests, maybe 8. I've gotten two Punisher skins and a Riot skin so far. So I might do some more, I might not. It's just, there's not a whole lot of motivation. I was really hoping for actual stuff for the Punisher, like maybe some random upgrade tokens or some random build tokens, or heaven forbid we get some random limited launchers, since they've been screwing us on those left and right. I was just the way everything was worded. I was like, man, I really thought there was going to be stuff for the Punisher, because that's what it said.
I'm getting the kick out of the people that's complaining because they end up getting 50,000 reses and something. I haven't claimed any chest yet, and yeah, more than likely. Then when I claim some chest or either the tokens, I haven't fully decided yet. I'll probably claim the chest, but if I do, I'll probably get reses like everybody else. But used to before, when they come up with something like this, you always make sure your reses were full. And I don't know if that plays in hand on it.
No, because if your res is full, you just get absolutely nothing then.
No. Okay.
You open your chest and it shows like 0 of 50, and you get nothing.
Oh, okay.
Although somebody was clever and started photoshopping, saying, "Oh, well, I got 50 coins in my chest." And I was like,
Yeah.
quit with the Photoshop and shit, dude.
Out of 25 chests, I've gotten 2 Punisher skins, 3 Riot skins, a Pegasus skin, a Gold crew, 3 common crews, and then a bunch of just regular resources. So,
Yeah, I just wish they would get rid of random chests and prizes, because random chests suck. We've been saying this for years. They're terrible. Nobody likes them. Get rid of them.
Yeah, but if they get rid of the random chest, well, they wouldn't have they wouldn't be able to do events like this. I guess I don't know.
Well, you could just do events where people like any other event where you get points for whatever you want. At least I know what I'm playing for at that point, as opposed to taking 20 minutes damage to get a goddamn Wharf Rats crew.
Okay.
Shit.
Uh-oh. Yes, Simba.
Okay, for the 900s, what you guys are talking about, you got to kill the one sub that comes out of the funky looking riot you're fighting. You got to kill that before you can do the rest of the damage to the other one. Another ship will come out toward the end, but you don't have to kill it to kill the other riot.
You're talking about the stonefish or whatever?
Whatever that is, but it's the same skin that the riot has.
Yeah, see, I haven't actually hit any 900 yet. I'm planning on actually doing some after the show. But I've heard different mixed things about it. Like, some people say that you have to kill the stonefish, and other people say if you kill the stonefish, another one comes out right away. Other people say they just ignored the stonefish and just kept targeting the...
It doesn't do any damage to the big ship.
Well, not according to Templar, because he said he pretty much just ignored it, kept going after, I guess its pet nickname is Greg or whatever, and that's how he did it.
That's interesting. We weren't able to see any damage coming down when we were doing the 900.
All I know is the first time I hit the 101, when it deep dove, I'm like, oh great. I didn't really have any torpedo towers or whatever to hit to get at the surface, because I was dodging all the torpedoes, and it was just like, wow, this is interesting and kind of fun. But then I saw how other people were doing it, and that's the way I'm going to be doing it if I have any time.
I just, when I do the 101, I don't even mess with all the little torpedo towers and stuff for the cavitator fields. I just continuously sail in a circle around it and then kill it.
Yeah, but when you got as many torpedoes as that darn thing puts out, and they're coming at you in all directions, it's just like, okay, how do I get away? How do you get out of that mess? But like I said, that was interesting, and it's actually fun. Now, if I didn't have all the repairs to do and all that, I'd be out there a lot more doing it.
It's been real. I got to tell you how my event's been going, because I haven't had a chance yet, and it has been awesome. I mean, just awesome. No stress at all. I haven't gotten a single prize yet, though, but I haven't hit a single target, so it's gone pretty well.
Well, honestly, this event, there's really no stress involved with it whatsoever, because maybe if you're trying to do the 900s, there might be a little bit, but the 101s are stupid easy, and there's no pressure to do a bunch of them, because you're not getting anything game changing out of them.
No, I mean, but don't you have the weekly to do? I mean, doesn't everybody?
My weekly's done.
Oh.
Yeah, you got the weekly to do, you got BXP to do, and you got the event and all that. It's just like, you want to try to have fun. I would like to talk about the FM in a few minutes, but still, you trying to have fun, but it just seemed like you're trying to cram everything in a very small window, and sometimes it's just it's hard to do.
No, I mean, honestly, it's been working out for me. I think the pace has slowed down. I don't know if, I like the fact that this isn't, not totally going making fun of it. I really think it's not a required event. And I like that fact. I'm not dissing it, per se. I'm pleased. I don't really want an event every week that I have to be on,
Yeah.
So it's nice for me to see some of these. I was expecting some Punisher specials, and at least the limited weapons. I was hoping for something like that, but it's okay.
It's fun. It's different instead of the same stuff over and over and over again. Yeah, I really, like I said,
All right. Well, what else you guys want to talk about before we get into BP next week? Because we still got about 30 minutes or so.
I the FM. I'm really kind of. It's okay, but I'm not happy with it because I can't really hit the top targets or anything like that. So I'm having to do the 120s and 121s right now. But going from 600K just to 300 points, it just feels like I'm not doing anything. And those targets are hard to find because everybody getting the free fleet because of the screw up in the raid. So I don't know how y'all like the FM or not, or y'all okay with it or not, but I'm just kind of not happy with it because it just feels like you're really not doing anything in it with the low points.
Like, literally nothing has changed. And the best way to do it, don't look at points at all. Totally ignore points. Look at how many targets you have to hit to get your prize. And if you do that, you'll notice absolutely nothing has changed.
Okay.
I have to hit the exact same amount of targets to get the same old prizes that I did before. It's just like now I have to hit, a little bit more of, like, I think 1 or 2 more targets to get the top end armor than what I had to get the low end armor. Or, well, not low end, but the previous top end armor.
What I want out of the FM, I've counted it all up, and it's like I need 890 120s and 121s.
Yep, all the prizes point totals were chopped by 2,000.
Yeah.
As well as the point payouts were chopped by 2,000. This only affects the.
We should be clear and say divided by 2,000, not chopped by 2,000.
Yes, divided by. And but this does not affect the new prizes. These are on their own scale. If you multiply them back out, yes, we need a whole pile of targets. However, we did just get given a free Praetorian fleet.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's no flagship in there, and I know that there's an empty special slot, and a little bit of work does need to be done to it, but it's not a bad fleet for a starting point.
Well,
I know I've been grabbing the free one they gave me and just sending them out. I can do 3 135s before having to send it for long repair. That's 1,800 points right there, or 18,000.
Yeah, I think sometimes, and this is nothing against you, Stormcatcher, because it's not just you. There's a lot of people. They don't push themselves enough maybe to see what their fleet can do. They're just like, I'm just going to take it in the 120s because they know they can do that for instant repair or whatever.
Oh,
And it's like it's not a bad thing to like go auto like 4 or 5 127s and then repair for a couple hours. That's fine.
I urge you to try a 127. That's what I do, even with my big boy state-of-the-art Praetorian fleet. I auto 127s.
my full fleet, I do hit the 127s, but with the free fleet, I'm hitting the 120s, 121s because, like I said, I've got a lot of repair that I'm trying to get done, and I took a lot of damage from the hitting for alley points, and plus we've been in a good size war here the past couple of days. So yeah, I've got fleets that I'm trying to get repaired so I can get back out and help take down bases and fleets and all that. So I got to try to do targets with very little damage that I can in order to help the alliance out.
Here would be my recommendation. I mean, I would tell your alliance next week we're getting the dual repair queue. You're just going to have to bear with me till then, and I got to keep my own personal game to where it needs to be until next week. That's what I would say.
There ain't no fun in that.
Well, I mean, then don't complain then when you have to hit like 190 targets or whatever. That's like your two options, really.
Well, I'm not really complaining. It's just it just seemed like when the points were the way they were, I was racking up on points faster to get what I needed than what it seems like now.
100%. 100% optical illusion.
And maybe
Points are coming in at the exact same rate as what they were before.
See, at the moment, I think the FM is actually more accessible to the player base than it has been in a very, very long time because of this free Praetorian fleet. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the FM at the moment. Yes, I got to get a zillion points. I kind of expect that by now. So, but I'm glad that most of the entire player base should be able to get most of the stuff in the FM if they try.
Yep, I would totally tend to agree with that.
And as far, Ren, we're changing a few things on the free fleet. Dock is tied up. The only time I might be able to do that will be during the raid when I'm using the raid fleet, which I'm trying to get built right now. So basically, I ain't got time to do that right now.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. If they're going to give us a free fleet that's going to need changes, they need to give us access to Praetorian build tokens too, because they've been really stingy with those damn things.
Well, build tokens, and some of the players are going to be saying, well, they need the upgrade tokens and kits too. So, yeah. Okay.
So, do we want to talk about the sneak peek for OP12?
You want to do that after the BP next week calendar, or do you want to do that before?
Maybe I want to do the OP12 thing first, Cuttlefish.
Well, there you go. Well then, fine. It's your party.
I don't really think it matters which order we're doing it, to be honest. Now, do we want to talk about the BP app real quick while I go find everything else to get set up?
Save the app. Reason being?
Because they said they're getting rid of it.
I know they're getting rid of it, but I don't hardly get most of the time the past couple of weeks with everything going on for life matters in that. I've been out on the road, and with the BP app, I'm actually able to do a couple of things. But now, if they're going to kill the BP app, then there's going to be a lot of people that are out and about that they're not going to be able to have time if they can't get to their laptops or to their desktops and all that like some of us can. They do their FM on the app or switch out, repairing fleets, stuff like that, and they're not going to be able to do it. And that's going to get a lot of people upset if they take away the app. Now, I believe it was can't remember if it was Cuttlefish or Ren. I believe it may have been Ren. We were running tests last night about going into HTML5 with your laptop or your desktop, and then pull Battle Pirates up through Chrome on your phone and all that, and it should work. But during one of the tests, I believe it was Snake that was doing it, it turned around and crashed on them. I've heard a lot of players doing that. They're trying to get it to run on their phones, but it's crashing. So leaving the app running right now would be good until they can figure out what's going on with HTML5 and phones.
Well, I mean, one of the things too is like, yes, you can access the game on HTML through your phone because everybody's talking about that in chat right now. But part of the problem that they're overlooking is it takes a whole lot longer to go out, get onto the map, find the target, go hit the target and everything than it did with the app. With the app, you could actually literally find your target and hit it in like 3 seconds. You find target, hit, see where it was, click the hit this target button, and that's all you had to do. You didn't even have to go out to the map. You didn't have to do nothing.
No.
So even that little bit of extra time for having to go out and do that for the people who are using the app because they're on such a time restriction anyway is not really a very feasible workaround, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions.
I was able to do some of the raids on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, but like me, I spend the summer on the HQ app. In all honesty, if it's fishing season and I'm on the boat, I'm using the HQ app, and I'm taking the hit and I'm paying the auto price, and I'm happy doing that because I'm able to fish and keep up with my game at the same time. But if you're going to take away the app and make me struggle to use the phone and a screen in the sun while I'm fishing, I'm going to go with fishing. That's just how it is. So I'm a little disappointed myself in their app thought, but that's their choice.
I know there's quite a few people too who are like really kind of borderline on how they feel about the game right now, and taking the app away from them is just going to be like one more reason for them to be like, you know what, I'm done.
Well, and it's not a done thing for me, but it does make a choice for me. If they don't want to spend the time to fix it, so I can use that in that time availability, then okay. If they don't want that customer, then that's their choice, I guess, is what I'm saying.
For some people, it will be a done thing though, because
right, it will.
They go travel for like 2 weeks at a time for their job or whatever, and like the app was really the only way they had to do their chores in a timely fashion without it being time consuming and have to worry about crashes and shit.
I totally agree. I have some people that truck for a living or just travel, just like you said, and it's a game changer. It'll be an end of the story, but it's more like it's because it's their choice not to fix it. It's not that they're saying we're not able to. They're coming out and kind of saying we're just choosing not to.
Well, especially right now when we got to get these armors for the fleets that we, the needed armors. You know, if you can't do your FM and can't get these armors and all that, you're going to have to use the last tier's armor, and you might not do well when the raid rolls around. You need, it seems like you always need the newer armors in order to get through the raids. And without the app, they can't get them.
The funniest thing though that caught my eye right away though was when they said the app didn't meet their standards, and I was like, "Oh my god, when did we get those?"
Right. I mean, I chuckled. That's funny that you said that because I forgot about that. And that was such a fun point. I mean, really? What standards?
It's like, well, we're okay with putting out interceptors that don't shoot. We're okay with putting out, UAV turrets that insta-give anything, and we're okay with well, I always go back to the Borvis Gore Saber, and how that would basically just totally nuke the base as soon as it got shot. That was funny as hell. But I was like, when did these mythical standards come from all of a sudden? When did that happen?
Okay.
Right.
Answer me a question. If I remember right, then again, I might be remembering something else. When Steelfront started taking over that, didn't they say that they were thinking about trying to get BP moved to making it a mobile game or something like that? Or they, they like doing mobile games and they thought about doing it?
I never heard they were going to do that.
I thought when they was somewhere in the same when they first taken over. I could be wrong.
Not that I ever heard of. I think a lot of people speculated that when the HTML5 thing happened, it was going to make the mobile app easier to keep up on. I remember a lot of people speculating about that, but I don't remember them ever saying anything about they were going to move it to mobile.
I could be wrong then.
All right, so let's do BP next week. Ooh, since Cuddle seems so anxious to want to do that.
Well, yes. This is where all the big stuff happens, is next week. Can we get a picture of it?
I'm getting there. Just hold your horses.
I think
I'll let you run all the technical stuff from now on if you'd like. So here we go. Update notes. Outpost 12, Bounty 29 are the two things that are happening. And 2 TLCs. So Outpost 12 and Bounty 29 briefing. Apparently we're getting 2 new heavy turrets, some new Warhound skins, and Bounty. And of course this will be our first chance to test OP12 and all the wonderful PvP changes of no prepping.
Okay, so the first thing, we get 2 new campaigns. Hopefully, I'm truly hoping one of them is a Punisher campaign where we can get some Punisher tokens. That's my hope. I got nothing. That's nothing but hope that I know. So I'm just hoping one of those is there because I really need one. This is also when we'll get the full briefing on OP12 and all the buildings. So that will be nice rather than this chopped up list that we'll be going over in a minute. But in this, on Tuesday, I'm going to have to look on at another screen because that's too small. Your first chance to see Outpost 12 in action. Well, the only place we can see that Outpost in action would be in Kixeye employee bases, right?
Well, not necessarily, because, there's going to be some foolish people that coin it the first day it comes out.
Fair enough.
There's all kinds of people that have 40 and 50 tokens.
That's very true. I know somebody that has 30.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, I expect to see those in Kixeye employee bases, that OP12.
I would say some probably will and some probably won't, because they always try to have 1 or 2 that are really easy. I would guess those probably won't have it.
And 2 new heavy turrets. I was really hoping we were moving out of the heavy turret range with tier 9 weapons.
How long has it been since we've gotten just a good regular turret?
Right. And are those going to be tier 9 weapons, or are they just going to be more tier 8 weapons?
Don't know. I would hope tier 9, but we won't know until the briefing comes out. And of course, we can't forget about the CM diary. Can't forget about the CM diary.
There's usually some good stuff in there.
Well, there's usually some stuff in there.
It's buried in a whole bunch of marketing speak. I totally understand, but there's usually some good stuff in there.
So now we'll get into the Outpost 12 build times. Here's a little picture of what Outpost 12 will look like compared to Outpost 11. It's a little bit taller. Looks like it's just been kind of stretched up. That's about the only real change I see. Outpost 12, 24 days. I had hopefully estimated 18 days. Apparently, I was a little too optimistic on that. I was a little too optimistic on the dock, but not by much. I said 14. It came down to be 16 days. Advanced Labs going up 3 levels. That'll be 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Intel Labs going up 3 levels, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. I'm seeing a pattern here. Naval Lab goes up 3 levels, 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Retrofit Lab, 3 levels. Guess what? It's 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. Weapons Lab. Anybody want to guess how many levels it goes up? Anybody?
3.
That's correct. And you want to guess on those times?
8, 9, 10
16,
days.
17, 18.
No,
Yep,
that's
25 days.
That's the levels, Ross.
Oh, that's what I was thinking here too. Yeah, I don't know.
Days, 9 days, 10 days. And then the one that really surprised me, since we just got done doing it 3 levels and we had to get the new OP, the Tactical Lab, which goes up 3 levels. And here's where they throw the pattern all off, because this one's 9 days, 12 days, 14 days.
Now, what's missing?
Well, let's see. I don't see portals. I don't see turrets. I don't see shipyard. I don't see anything about mountains. But as was very clearly said in the second line of this, please note there are more extensive OP that a more expensive OP 12 post will follow early next week.
And warehouses. Forgot that.
Yes, and warehouses.
I think he was talking about you don't see anything about walls.
And walls.
No, he was talking about all the stuff that I just mentioned, and
Yep.
and I said mountains, right? Nothing about the mountains. Or the radio tower, and how many points it's going to get buffed up by.
And a combined total here, if anybody wants to know, is 210 days.
Does it seem excessive? Yes, but
Considering all the stuff that's missing, I mean, portals have always been like titanically long builds. Warehouses have been short. Turrets have been long builds. You know, oof.
Okay. Are we going to be able to use base parts?
No. No. Well,
See, that's what I don't know. Why not?
generally, historically, anytime new stuff has come out, base parts were not able to be used for probably about 6 months. Historically,
My thinking is they were being able to use, but not for the max level.
yeah, not for the max level.
yeah, you'll be able to use base parts for all the old stuff. You should
So,
be.
what about not everything but the max level?
Right, which is basically all we're looking at right now is, oh, I see what you're saying. Because normally we haven't had to do 3 levels at a time. It's just
Correct.
I do not see them allowing base parts for any of this new stuff.
That's a
do not see
good
that.
question, though.
That would be very not within their best interest as a business to allow them to be used for all those levels.
Well, if you want to get technical, as long as you do your FM and get the 1-day chest every week, it's only going to take you 180 days.
And that's not counting any TLCs that might come down the pipeway either. Or like lately, they've been putting structure build tokens back into events.
Yeah, but the tokens go in the 2 instead of the 200.
Well,
So,
yeah,
But if you're constantly
but what-
building, it's gonna.
yeah, you're constantly building, so they're going to get spent right away. So I don't know why you would ever be trying to bank them all.
well, before now, people were trying to bank them for the upgrades that we all knew that was coming. Now, since we know what's coming out, they won't be banking them. They'll be using them up right off the bat. Because there was a while there that we didn't have anything to upgrade. So there's some people that already had everything upgraded. So the 1 day build token was just sitting there, and they couldn't get them from the TLCs or the last raid because they didn't have nothing to build.
Okay. No, yeah, Ren brought up a good point. He's like, you didn't even have to build fortifications. He started doing them. I'd recently started working on some of my own self, too. Because I know all my warehouses at one point in time when we had to worry about bubble pads, it took all my fortifications off my warehouses. Actually, I had to like totally demolish my warehouses and then rebuild them back up because you couldn't just get rid of fortifications. And now here we are later, and I'm starting to fortify them once again. It's like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Same thing.
I spent the last week fortifying my radio tower. I mean, that's going to be one of our new key buildings, right?
all right.
Clank, clank,
Yeah.
clank, clank, clank.
It is.
And the Great Hall, I didn't even know those were in there. Or they're just now putting them in there.
They've been in there.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, I mean, there's always fortifications to do. That's kind of what I've been working. Well, I've still been working on my warehouses too because I realized not all my warehouses were at max level. Did you ever get your warehouses rebuilt, Ross?
No, I'm pretty bummed. Well, I mean, I don't have portals. I don't have warehouses up to date level. But I do have to announce to everyone that I finally do have the correct number of turrets. I think no, actually, wait a second. I'm still one short, but I have 8 heavies now, and that's a first.
Well, there you go. And in my opinion, Chuck, yes, fortification deflection is worth using because when you stack it with all the armor plates that you can fit on there, it does make a difference.
That's if it ain't broken.
True.
I mean, with the Warhounds right now, people that's got 3 of them and all that, they just been running rampant through bases.
Yeah, the base defense is kind of on the. It's the attacker's got the advantage right now. That's for sure. But you know, I just don't know what we're gonna. I don't think anybody knows really what we're gonna see when the one hit rule comes in and the OP12. You know, the whole game's gonna change. So I think that we only have a couple more days of this.
Yeah, and then you'll have those couple of people that don't know all this is happening and all that, and they're going to get close to 25%, back out, re-heal. They're going to heal their fleet or repair their fleet, go back in, and they're like, wait a minute, why is everything repaired? Dang, they must be on.
Well, I'm gonna say if anybody who doesn't know about this, it's kind of their own fault. It's been talked about on all the shows. It's been on all the pages. It's been on the Discord. It's been on the forums. So, kind of, if you don't know about this, it's because you're not really that into the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it should, and they'll probably even have a thing across the header.
Yeah.
No, you still got the players that comes in the forums or Discord or even on the BP pages. Why y'all still playing this game? I quit such and such date. Y'all still playing it?
Well, yeah. Anytime I see those people, I just kick them off the page. So.
Yeah, that's actually helpful when they do that, because you don't know when people quit just randomly, but they do help you monitor the page when people do say that.
Yeah.
Now the OP is 24 days, and
Right.
the dock is 16, so a total of 40 days. Now I have 2 days stacked plus a chest. That's what I'll be going in with in terms of build tokens. I didn't buy any of the deals that came along or anything like that, so that's all I've got. With that and the build tokens that I will get in the FMs between now and then, I'm not going to make it by the second raid to have my upgraded dock.
Oh yeah, and we're not even accounting for downtime for getting smashed.
Oh,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Yeah, you're
yes,
right.
I'm going to get smashed. So I'm not going to make it by the final raid.
Okay.
Unless things come along and avail themselves to me, and a bunch of things would have to avail themselves to me, not just like a couple of days. I need like 10 to guarantee it.
See, this is that ask you. I'm glad you thought of that. I didn't even think of this. That will help me with planning my build. In all honesty, I'm not gonna stress out and try to get a build done if I can't get one to wait. Not even possible. I'm not even gonna stress.
This first raid, they have said it is going to be geared towards us with dock 11. That's the one we're on right now, right? 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it's supposed to be...
I think Doc, we were on like 15.
No,
Yeah.
they said OP 11.
Doc
Right.
15. Yeah.
Fine. It's going to be geared towards what we have now, not what we get with this upgrade. But will the second raid will definitely be geared towards maximum weight.
My guess, call me optimistic, my guess would be that the second raid, they'll probably take a snapshot of where the majority of the players are in the game and tune in for that for the second raid. That would be the smart thing to do. But as we all know, they don't always necessarily do the smart thing.
So Damnation, you gonna still try to hide your radio tower, or are you gonna try to keep your OP? You gonna try to keep your OP covered?
Oh hell, I don't know, dude. I have no idea what I'm going to try to do. But what I was thinking though, one of the cool things about the new base hitting system is, like, since they have to get all 5 of those buildings, or well, it's the warehouse, the Great Hall, the radio tower, the OP, and what was the other one? There's another
Warehouses.
one. Yeah, I said warehouses. That's the first thing I said.
Advanced.
Warehouse, radio tower, Great Hall, OP, and I thought there was a fifth one. But anyway, like, you can kind of rotate whatever you're working on at any given time to be the what's on your center island and going to be the hardest one to get to. That way, it won't be getting smashed and setting you back.
Yeah.
So with the new wind conditions, there does open up a little bit of options for getting smashed not to be as hard hitting on your progress as what it used to be.
Yeah, because if you like the OP, if you have that on your center island, and with the new rules, depending on when those go into effect, if they die or decide they can't make it and retreat, your base is repaired and your OP is still going. Now, the only way you lose time is if they actually get into wherever your center island is. So that might help with some of the build times.
And with this change, with no prepping, this also brings up the possibility of me pushing my OP out to the front line, since it doesn't matter if it dies as long as one of the other buildings dies.
Yeah, the only problem with that, and I thought about that when I said about just protecting my radio tower at all costs. I'm like, that OP can hold an awful lot of specials on it to buff your island. That would be the only downside of throwing that out towards the front. Although, technically, I guess if you really bolster your front, they only have one chance to get in. That could even be a tactic.
Because it could really bolster your frontline turrets as well.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like what I just said.
Yeah, but you want to try to keep, well, with the ranges they've got now, all they have to do is click on OP and, hopefully they can take it out real quick before your turrets and everything takes it out. You got to remember, I think, Damnation, you said one time before, you wish they would quit messing with the ranges.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But if my OP is down to where they enter in, I don't know. There's going to be so many interesting possibilities. But until we see it in practice, we don't really know what they're going to be.
Right, and what bonuses will be on these buildings,
if any.
If any, what their armor points are going to change to, because most of those buildings have like 1,500 hit points nowadays, plus armor, and that needs to be normalized. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see that briefing. I believe it comes out Monday, right?
Tuesday, I thought.
Boo.
Well, they will be posting the update notes Monday.
Yeah.
Update
Outpost 12 post and Bounty 29 briefing are both on Tuesday.
Yeah. All right.
So I know earlier in chat, Ren, if he's still there, said something about 20 people got laid off at Kicks. Are they 20 people who even have anything to do with Battle Pirates? It might be the 20 people who did their Kingdom game that just came out not too long ago that I don't think too many people are playing.
Why no? They play any of the other Kickside games and all that. They're going to figure, okay, they couldn't do good in one of the other games and all that. Why would I want to play this?
I played it for a little bit just to see what it was like. I got bored with it rather quickly, though. Yeah, so until he had said something in chat about people getting laid off, I didn't even know that happened. So don't really know what to say about that.
I think I asked this once before. Does anybody know if Wrong Thinker is still around?
He is. I actually asked Gilly that probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's doing big picture things now, from what I was told. Whatever that means.
Or was he one of the 21 that got laid off?
No.
Yeah. Now, those 20 people that got laid off were from the Kingdom Maker game.
Oh, okay.
The reason I didn't want to talk about that is because there's only one article on it, and I can't find a secondary source. So,
Well, it really wouldn't surprise me though, because I played it and it wasn't all that. So, anyway, anybody got anything else they want to say, talk about before I pull the plug?
I'm really looking forward to these briefings on Monday. This is a huge change to the game that we are about to see, and people are going to be salty, upset. It'll be very easy to fall into that camp, but I'm going to try to remain optimistic because the base needed to really change. It's been one of my personal bugbears is our base just isn't. We have buildings that have 70 million hit points, and we have buildings that have 1,500 hit points. It's needed some look at for a while, and I'm hoping this is it. So I'm really looking forward to that on Monday.
My whole thing in closing, as far as the PvP changes, is I don't see it changing what is the real problem in PvP of metal dumping and metal hoarding. I don't see this changing that at all.
I'm a metal dumper and a hoarder, and this will have no effect on me in doing that. And yeah, it's because they have given no use to the metals. So that's the reason for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure 100% how they would fix that. There's been some ideas bandied about, but I'm not sure how serious that conversation is being taken, quite honestly.
Right.
Me, I'm just going to sit back and see what happens.
PvP is pretty fun. I mean, it's active, it's not that you can defend the greatest, or anyone can, or some, I guess maybe some can, but it's pretty fun to be a hitter. You can be of any class and go out and really do well.
Yeah, I think currently it's very hard to be strong against all the different fleets that are out there, which to me is, that's kind of the way it was supposed to be and kind of the way it was back historically in the game. It's like, oh, I can stop this fleet, but god damn it, this one always gets me, type deal. And it was the never-ending quest to make sure, okay, how do I stop the one fleet that's still getting through,
Yes. Yep.
So, yeah, it seems to me like we're kind of back to that stage of the game, which is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Or for those that was always doing PvE, didn't build many PvP fleets that are still on that catch up.
They have LTOs that have been super for the PvP world. And
I actually took advantage of one of those myself today. I was a dirty, filthy coiner, and I bought the 149 coin thing for the Howlers.
and what a deal, really. I mean,
Yeah, it was a deal. For me, I got I think it was 40 build tokens, 11 upgrade days worth of upgrade tokens, VXP tokens. The thing that pisses me off about that deal, though, is you only get 400 kits, whereas to take your
not
your
enough
dollar
for
you
fleet.
need 500.
Right. No, I remember that when it's the same thing package they've been pushing for a while, and they just need to add another 100 kits.
Yeah. But, I mean, hopefully, I'll be able to get enough points during bounty that I can get out the rest of the kits that I need.
Right.
And then basically, I'll basically have, with my Warhounds that I already have gotten, I'll basically have, a top-end fleet at that point.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time for people to actually jump into even just building PvP fleets because we just got into a new tier. So, yeah, just build some Warhounds and you'll get there.
Okay.
They'll last for quite a while.
I got one Warhound for bounty. I didn't get another Warhound for the raid, so all I have is one Warhound. So, yeah, there's some of us that can do it like y'all, and there's some of it that can't do it like me.
Pick up another one in bounty. See? You'll have that one Warhound just in time.
Yeah. All right, well.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
If nobody's got anything else, I'll pull the plug on this one. Thanks, guys, for coming out and watching us. Appreciate the thumbs up that you've given us. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button. Have a thumbs up party. As always, we'll talk to you next week, and we will be talking about Bounty and OP12 at that point because it's going to be out. I don't know. Maybe when the update hits, maybe we'll actually the next day throw together something real quick to just talk about the changes that have occurred for the outposts and take a look at what's going on there. So
blown everybody's mind. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, later, guys. Thanks. We appreciate it. Take care.
Later.
Have a good one.